Hi there, I'm Gold Derby News and Features Editor Ray Richmond, and I'm here today with the great Rickey Minor, the music director for this last March's 96th Academy Awards, and an all-around music man of great distinction. Rickey, now that you've overseen the music for several Oscar shows, are you at the point yet where you kind of expect to get the call asking if you're available every year?
You know, I really don't expect anything. I welcome everything, but I don't expect it because the thing is, everyone has a time. No one is going to be on this planet forever. And frankly, I don't want to be on forever. But the fact is that when you get an opportunity to do something uh, and do it in the business that you love, and music, like I love music. I mean, I would play at the opening of an envelope. I mean, I love it so much. And I used to say, I do it for free because I love it so much. But then when I finally met Quincy Jones, I told him about that. And he says, yeah, don't say that.
You also told me before we got on this interview, I don't turn down nothing but my collar, and I can respect that in a man and very well put.
Yeah, my collar, but I do it very slowly. When I collar down slowly.
Well, as the years pile up, things slow down a little.
Yeah.
Not that you're old, you're ageless. In fact, um, when talking about the Oscars here, Rickey, you and your team must have to be incredibly quick on your feet. What with, I mean, all the pieces of music you have to be ready with for a show like that. People don't even think about or realize just exactly how much preparation it takes.
Yeah, I mean it's really look, I'm a Virgo, so I'm very meticulous and take notes, Mr. Note. I mean, I'm Mr. Legal Pad. I mean, look at me, I'm here with you now, and I got my legal pad ready to go. Because I don't, I know I'm not going to remember every single thing, so I like to take notes and be organized in that sense. But that's how it works for me. I don't know everyone, the other how anyone's work pattern is, but for me I take a lot of notes. I'm very meticulous in that sense, and I realize that everyone, all of us have our strengths, and all of us have areas that we're not so strong in. So get your team together, make sure that you're covering everything, and then weekly meetings, taking notes, getting things done, having a schedule of when things need to be done, delivered, turned in, and then how to make it inclusive in terms of the styles of the musicians who are playing, what their strengths are, balanced in new people who have never done it. Because if we don't share with each other, then who's going to carry on or even know how it's done? So I make an effort to do that, and then hire the best people and then let them do the job.
Don't you have to have like a couple hundred pieces of music, I mean, ready in advance for something like that? I mean, like what to decide for the presenters, what to decide for, if this film wins, if that individual wins, everything. People don't realize or think about the fact that everything is an individual music choice.
Well, it definitely is, and I think that looking at like this year, we were close to I think about 183 cues, and it's done in basically 2 6-hour rehearsal and pre-record, all of that. And then on the third day is generally the song category where we have the people who are nominated for best song. But other than that, everything has to be done, recorded, mixed for the stuff that's not live. But mostly the all the presenter play-ons and all of those cues and but some of the packages we can do that a little early if we get the material, but just be bendable, not breakable, because things change. So don't get yourself all crazy if you get a curveball thrown.
Oh, you
Just
totally have to roll with the punches, I'm sure, for something like that when it's live and it's just happening boom, boom, boom.
yeah,
You
but
know,
I'm saying roll with the punches before the actual live show, because if you get caught up on wait, it wasn't like that yesterday, it's like no, it's changing. This thing is going to change until it's off the air.
well, that's why they keep hiring you because you understand that somebody who's new would probably be fighting every change.
Well, I think so,
Uh,
but it's so you and I both know it's all personalities. I mean, it doesn't mean the person's a bad person. They may just have a very aggressive personality, or like I don't but if someone said, how's it going to me? And I'll say, well, it goes the way I say, or it don't go, because I could always leave. Like, so I don't take anyone yelling or screaming at me, or, just any disrespect in any manner. And if you came into our session just this past year, uh, the musicians, especially those who had never worked with me, uh, just thought that it was just a big party, because we just laugh all the time and we just make music. It's not brain surgery, you know. I
and
mean, I had Keith Black, who's a head of neurology at Cedars, and we had an event, and all of the women were, saying, "Oh, Ricky, it's so amazing. I saw you on the blah 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 show, whatever. It was so amazing." He walks over, he goes, "Hey, what Ricky does is not brain surgery."
and if you
It,
got a brain surgeon telling you that,
no, no, it's not.
well,
I mean, what do he do? He stands up there with a baton, and he counts it off, and then he turns on and takes it. That's what happened. The first time I ever conducted, someone, some guy, someone in my band put on the music stand. We took a break, and I came back, and on the music stand was a cartoon, and it said, "The job of a conductor: wave your hand till the band stops, and then turn around and take a bow."
when you're a little kid, that's what it looks like. When I'm just like, oh, I can do that. I can,
Right.
move your hands.
Yeah. I mean, I could do it like a bird, or I could do it with. But there is a beautiful online Leonard Bernstein conducting only using facial expressions.
Isn't that amazing?
It's
Wow.
a His eyebrow goes up, and the sound goes, and then it goes down. Then he looks over here. It's incredible. Like I've watched it a million times, and I just love it.
Well, that's what when I'm conducting with my children, that's what I do is the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Um, no, you'd mentioned the best original song nominees. Let's go back to March's show a little for a minute, Ricky. Are you personally involved in planning out the best song nominees before the show? I'm thinking in particular, about the "I'm Just Ken" number from Barbie and how dazzling that turned out as a production number.
Right, right. Well, I work with whoever the lead in this case it was Mark Ronson and his team, and we they worked on it and did some edits. We went back and forth timing wise and all the cues, and then we did it live, and
I
and
think that.
it's
Go ahead.
incredible. Things, as you know, things change on a dime. I mean, all of a sudden we've got to add a beat here, or add 4 bars here, or we need more time for the dancers to get out. So that was a huge undertaking. That one, I've never done anything that extravagant with so much power packed eye ear stimulation all over the place. So I had a great time doing, and that's one of the performances that I just have fun doing it anywhere.
Well, that's one of the great memorable Oscar moments in history, I think, was that number. So, I mean, congratulations for whatever role you had in that. And, you know, that's just got to be what makes your job so much fun is when you're creating history. Really,
Well,
I
and
mean,
I
from an
think that
awards perspective.
yeah, and you're right, and but it's always it's there's no uh I think that everyone needs room to contribute. And I don't think that there's, a thing where uh, if you're not collaborative, then it just goes nowhere. It just stays right where it is. So we have to be, malleable and change if a change needs to happen, or add a bar here or take that out. But just know what to do. That's the key. Be able to get it done. But first thing is to determine what needs to be done. And then on my legal pad, here's what needs to be done.
I think too often like an Oscar show or any award show, Ricky, the band, the orchestra sometimes is unfairly maligned, because they're the evil ones who have to, who are basically telling you know, acceptance speech givers that it's time to leave, and you know they're giving him the hook. Didn't Julia Roberts tell the band when she won for Aaron Brockovich? I remember, sir, you're doing a great job, but why don't you sit, because you're so quick with that stick, and I never may be up here again, you know. And so I would imagine that you probably get grief, they get grief from winners. I imagine you don't get that because you're the director, but even so, it's still, it's got to be, there's pressure on you.
No, but I'm in conductor. I mean, so I'm in that same position that whoever was there with Julia. But here's the thing: is that I did get that because I know a lot of the actors just being in the business, and because of technology, I don't take that on. So what I do is I do all of the uh, times up basically is the music, what we call it now, times up, and we do different cues for times up, and it all goes to the truck. So when the director says cue music, that's not me. And so people came to me, hey, why did you play me off? No, I didn't play you off. I did the music to play you off, but I didn't play it. So they understand that this is a show. This is not this is not someone being disrespected, but we lose the show. We have the time we have, and we have to be also respectful to the next honoree, so that when they win, they have the time that they have too. And look, I mean, and I know like the Emmys and other shows that I've worked on too, they have to find a way to say time's up, because, and I know it's a big emotional moment, but but you just have to think about everyone else too, because if you do that, then someone may not even get to do a speech at all because time's up.
Right. They don't get their 45 seconds, so they may only get 20. That's not.
Yeah.
How do you avoid monotony, Ricky, in playing the same, cues over and over, or not playing those cues over and over? Say if, people representing the same film or films keep winning, you must have what, like 15 or 20 different cues for every film?
No.
You don't.
So what we do is one cue uh, for every 3 nominations. So if a film gets 1 to 3 nominations, you got one cue. And if you get 6, you get 2 cues. If you get 9, you get 3 cues. So that way, because I mean, if you think about it, if I did 15 for say 100, whatever number of shows, let's just say that there were 50 movies done, and I did 15 for each one. I mean, not only is it a waste of money, but it's a waste of time because no one will ever hear it. Chances are, uh, you know, someone's going to win in that category and someone's not, and then the rest aren't. One person's going to win best actor, but if you talk about a movie, then you may have for best writer, best actor, a best screenplay. So we count that, and that way we're respectful. If you have 3 nominations, then it's okay to have the same cue play on. Doesn't mean all 3 are going to win, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So having one cue for 3 is fine because chances of someone winning all 3, and if so, then the song just gets played 3 times. Good.
It's okay.
Yeah, it is. It is. But this way we can ensure the entrance and the exit of it musically that makes sense rather than something abrupt cutting them off, And we can time that in there, and the screen is beeping, 15 seconds left, 10 seconds, it's telling him. And look, and if they go a little over, no one's just starting it right away. I mean, it's very sensible, it's very respectful. But I think that the nominee just has to be respectful as well. That's all.
Right.
All in it together.
Respect is the key word. You're the go-to guy now for, I think, music production and direction, Ricky. If so many live award shows and specials, the Oscars, the Emmys, the Grammys, the Kennedy Center Honors. Is one of these? Is there any one that's more difficult than the other, or is it pretty much one set of muscles you call on for those jobs?
I think that it depends on the mission, because your job is to make it happen. So the producers don't want to hear anything about it can't be done. or that's, but if you have a better idea, then be able to communicate that. And I think that that's what they appreciate, that I'm honest and I have already an idea if they want to change something, or I have a suggestion that might help this situation. So it's very collaborative, and that's what I love about working in this business, especially in this capacity where creatively. And then I sit down with my team and we go through everything. We comb through. We have meetings. We have weekly meetings for the show starting. I think we started in October. You know, conceptually, and this idea of putting the orchestra on stage was so
On stage instead of in a pit.
yeah, yeah, because in the pit, the first couple of years, it's dark down there, and the floor to ceiling ratio is really like you feel like you're in a closet playing, and it's hard to communicate, and you're not seeing the band seeing nothing. I'm seeing what's on my screen, on my small little screen, so you don't feel like you're actually even there. And people even said to me, "Hey, so where were you guys last year? Were you uh, were you at Capitol Records again?" Which feels wrong to me to be in another location and piping in music, because you can't feel the audience. You can't pour into them, And I've switched cues of going to commercial. If I feel like we need bigger energy, I'll switch it and call another number on the stand, and we're going to do something different to try to raise some, because the energy in the room is just so low because they're not feeling the orchestra. So hats off to the producers of the show this year with Raj and Katie and Jimmy. Um, it's so important to step out of your comfort and try to create something that is with some new thoughts and new ideas.
So that really putting you on stage really changed the game completely. And hopefully from here, that's going to be every year.
I hope so. I think that, look, I really enjoyed being there. I enjoyed seeing, and there's a couple of reverse shots of me where they're shooting through, and you can see the audience, the total audience. It was just, and I just love being present, and you have artists like Billie Eilish who, after her performance, turned around and thanked the band, you know and looked at him and says thank you to the whole orchestra. So that gives us a way to connect to them. If we're in the pit, then I may see them at the after party, and they don't even know who I am. you know
You're just anonymous. Yeah. You've just got such joy and enthusiasm. It doesn't seem like you're even working, Ricky. You just seem to love so much. It's so infectious to see somebody that loves what they do as much as you do.
Well, I that's a mantra that I live by. If you do what you love and love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So I've never, my this is something funny. My son came to me, and he was probably about 7 years old or something. He goes, "Daddy, do you work?" And I was like, "Yeah, I work." He goes, I said, "Why do you ask that?" He says, "Well, my friend Johnny, his dad drops him off, and he says, my dad just dropped me off. He's going to work." And then I thought about it. I said, "So do you work? Because you never say that." I said, "Well, that's." I said, "Well, that's because." I said, "You're right. I don't work." He said every day you leave, when you go, you say, 'I'm going to play.'" I said,
It's got a
"I
double meaning.
Right." I said, "Yeah, I play. You're right. I don't work. I play. I play music. I go and play music and laugh a lot. That's what I do. So I know you're right. I don't work."
Boy, wouldn't that be great if that was how everybody viewed their career and their life?
This
Um,
world is such a better place because we all understand that it doesn't have to be you. Be kind to everyone. Respect everyone. I mean, it's a very peaceful and fun existence. Like I said, I don't know how anyone would get this much music done in basically 2.5 days, with all the stress. Like, I can't do drama or stress. I can't. I mean, no one can yell at me, because then next thing you know, what happened to Ricky? Well, he left. you know, he left. So I think, yeah, sometimes you have to teach people how to treat you. Sometimes they think being a leader means being strict and hard and short with people and letting people know you're the boss. But like with my group of people, I mean, I can't talk about this to them often, but they've been working with me so long, they all know exactly how to do what I do. And it's not like I'm not the only one that can do this. And I'm not misguided to think I can, that I'm the only one, you know. But I found a way to work with people, pull the best out of them, and give them permission. Someone said, it must be hard working with all these superstar artists. I said, no, it's actually really easy. My job is easy. My job is to guide them back to the center of who they are, sing your truth, and you can't mess it up. Don't sing, get out of your head, sing from your heart. There's no way you can mess it up.
Well, this is why they all love you. It's
Yeah.
clear. I can tell from just a 20-minute conversation. I wish I could talk to you forever. But we're going to have to leave things there. Rickey Minor, it has been an honor, sir. Best of luck. Best of luck to you in your life and career going forward. And thanks for joining us today at Gold Derby.
Yeah, well, listen, I want to say I'd love to talk to you forever too, but I'm married, man. I'm sorry.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you, man.
Take good care of yourself.
All right.